Good day, humanity. I was recently employed as a production assistant on an independent feature film, something some of you might be interested in. I was on set for 5 glorious days where I got to work alongside a whole mess of equally sweaty people, and it was fantastic. That being said, they must have really needed a hand, because I would have fired me before the first 2 hours. But luckily, they had no choice whatsoever. So I've ended up with a lot of advice to give. First off, here's an exciting definition segment. A PA is a production assistant. The name says it all. You're the unseen energy of the set, the oil in the gears, the lube on the shaft of the erect monster that is the film production process. So if you want to be a PA, you gotta know 2 things. Be organized and be tactful. It also doesn't hurt to learn to count before you get on camera. What are you there for? You're there to facilitate. Think of yourself like the security / FedEx / garbage man, all in one. Just, that's you. You will fetch things, take things, park things, relay things, set things up, tear things down. You will hold things for no reason. You'll get in your own car and drive to a store to buy things. You are the errand human, born to deal with things. But the first thing you gotta worry about is that, before the day begins, before you even get on set if possible, find out who the people are that are going to be important to your job as PA. And do whatever helps you best remember them. Since you're going to be bouncing around set like a ping pong ball, remembering faces, names, locations, and tools is key to your efficiency as a PA. The second thing you should do before your day begins is to scope out the area around your production for the nearest retail stores or hobby shop or whatever you think you may need. Because chances are, at least on independent pictures, you never know when you're going to be sent out on a run and you don't want to end up going to a Walmart 15 minutes away when you could have gone to a grocery store that was 5 minutes away. I can neither confirm nor deny that this happened to me. But if it were something that happened to me, it would not have been my fault anyway, because everyone knows that the Walmart in Fort Lauderdale is run by the Three Stooges. Out of ice? Really? Walmart manager? There's a spare freezer 20 feet to my left, but did you send me there? No, you didn't. That's the situation I would have found myself in had I been there, which I cannot confirm. Save your receipts when you're sent out. Bring those back to the set. It's important. Forget that story I told you. Never happened. If you're about to go into your first rodeo, it can feel a little bit like psyching yourself up to run across a pool of quicksand. So here's a breakdown of what you can expect on set. Your day will be a mix of structure and being thrown into a tornado. But the gist of what my day was like goes like this. The PA is the first person to get there on set, so you're going to show up on set, you meet with your supervisor, in my case it was the UPM. If you get a walkie, turn it on, make sure it's on the right channel, and call in walkie check. Somebody will answer you to let you know it's good by saying walkie good check, what are you wearing, something along those lines. From there you unpack, take things to where the crew needs them to be until crafting looks like it's good to go. And then you will set up the tables and the chairs for breakfast, along with the trash area. All of which you will then break down after breakfast is done. If your set is like mine, this setup will repeat itself for every crew meal, so make sure to know your call sheet schedule so you can have those tables and chairs back up right on time for lunch and dinner. Now back to the day. As soon as the office is good to go, you're going to get some paperwork and you're going to hand it out to the appropriate people. For example, call sheets, shot lists, and sides. From there, you begin the tornado phase of the day, where you help out as a kind of free agent on set. This goes on through the next meal times all the way to the end of the night, where you will help put everything that needs to be put away, and clean up the wreckage, aka whatever garbage was left around by the cast and crew, before you turn in your walkie, climb into your car, and go home for some delicious rest. You will never love your bed quite as much as when you get back from a day as a PA. During free agent time, be open to help out in any capacity, except sexual. Don't do that. Do not do that. Keep an eye out looking for anybody who needs help, but do not forget to look for leftover garbage and to check up on people's thirst and hunger. Form the habit of periodically going around the set with some water bottles, just in case. And that thought actually takes me to the next portion of the video, but first, another ultra exciting definition card. The set is a bipolar place. You'll have a lot of questions, and you'll have to figure out how, when, and if you should ask these questions. But if it comes down to handling a task and you're not entirely sure about something, ask. That's the only time you should never hesitate to ask. If you're worried about looking stupid, you should probably be more worried about potentially derailing an entire day's shoot by trying to carry out a request you didn't fully understand in the first place. Also remember that a lot of times, not understanding an instruction isn't even about you. Most people don't realize how vague they're being when explaining things to somebody else. So whether it's because you didn't get it the first time, or they didn't speak with enough clarity, or even if you did hear it and you think you understood it perfectly, always ask to make sure that you understood what you were told to do. It never hurts, just they'll appreciate that in the long run. But the reason I'm saying this is because the set can sometimes make you feel unsure of how to behave. So let's get back to the reason why. It's bipolar nature. Remember that stormy relationship you had with that emotionally/mentally unbalanced significant other? Well, inject some steroids into that and you've got a movie set. As a PA, you will be the half of the relationship that has to cope with the batshit craziness. You'll be wanted one minute and told to go away the next. You'll be needed, and then you'll be ignored. You'll find a crew member thanking you like you were Jesus himself when you arrive with a water bottle. Come back 5 minutes later with a question? Shit, this hydrated motherfucker's gonna walk right past you like you weren't even there. Sorry. I just saw straight out of Compton. Everyone there's got a job to do, so if you're like me, someone who wants to study every person's job, you'll have more questions than you have time to ask those questions. But before you even think of going out there and Michael Mooring people, you gotta get a feel for the set. When people are open to you and when they're busy handling their business. Do not walk up to a busy cinematographer asking, what lens should I use on my camera when he's in the middle of framing a really important shot. And if you gotta do it, at least don't ask it in that voice. Before you work on a set, if you're somebody who's really interested in filmmaking, you're gonna go into it thinking, hell yeah, time for me to learn everything there is to know about the industry. But one thing I learned while being on set is that it may actually be pretty difficult to learn the way you want to learn. Because honestly, you've got a job to do. You will be busy. And when you're not busy, most of the time, that means they're rolling. So just about everyone you'd want to ask questions to is most definitely busy. Plus, they're rolling, so you shouldn't be talking anyway. Point is, you gotta be able to handle turbulence. You absolutely have to get in tune with reading people and situations if your goal is to learn while making a good impression as a worker. At the very least, you will be able to observe. So if you can't get out all the questions that you have, take advantage of what you can do. Take advantage of what you're able to see in that moment and learn from that. But observe in a tactful way. No one wants to look over their shoulder and see someone going, so, what are you working on? A few last random tips. Keep these terms in mind for your walkie use. Flying in, hot brick or hot battery, what's your 20, and of course the classic, copy. Or roger that, if you want to anger people. Oh, speaking of batteries, if your phone has a caca battery, I suggest purchasing an external one. Doesn't have to be this model, but something that'll help you charge your phone on the go, because you will need it. Production assisting will generally not be the most prestigious role on set, but it's part of the learning experience. So focus, do your best, try your best, and soon you'll earn the respect of these hydrated motherfuckers. That's all for now. Keep in mind that what I've told you is my experience on a feature film set, so things may vary depending on what you are going into. But I hope this helped. I hope somehow this was of value to some people. Have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow. Hasta la bye-bye. Cheers, falling over. Yo, Drake. What up? Nothing. Man, why are you talking? Man, I don't know. We're in front of people. I had to say something. It's a concert.